Welcome back to Superbly Said Advanced English Vocabulary and Phrases.
Good to be back. Ready to dive deep again.
Absolutely. And speaking of deep dives, the phrases we're exploring today actually come from a really great SpeakDuo lesson.
Ah, right.
Yeah. If you're looking to meet new people from around the world, practice your English speaking, really boost that confidence on video calls, you should definitely check out SpeakDuo.com. It's a fantastic way to practice.
Good tip.
So for today, our goal, especially for you advanced learners listening, is to really get into the subtle meanings, the nuance of these phrases, how to use them effectively.
Let's get started.
Okay, first up, to have the courage to be disliked. This one, it really makes you think, doesn't it? What's the essence here?
It's quite profound, really. Basically, it means being brave enough to live by your own values, your principles, even if other people don't approve, even if they, dislike you for it.
Right, so it's not just being rebellious for the sake of it.
Exactly. That's the key difference, the nuance. It's not just, I don't care what anyone thinks. It's more principled. It's about acting on your deeply held values, even when it causes friction.
So authenticity grounded in principle.
Precisely. It's choosing your internal compass over, say, popularity, not just being contrary or insensitive.
That makes sense. It feels like a quiet strength. The example from the lesson was powerful. She finally had the courage to be disliked and quit her high-paying but unfulfilling job. You feel the weight of that decision.
Yes, the internal struggle and then the choice.
And you can see how this applies in work, or maybe IELTS speaking. When the team wanted a risky shortcut, our lead had the courage to be disliked and argued for the ethical way, even though it was slower.
Good example.
Or for IELTS, you might say something like, I believe true leadership often requires having the courage to be disliked, especially, when making tough calls for the long run.
What's really fascinating is how it challenges that idea of popularity as the ultimate goal. It pushes integrity to the forefront.
Integrity over approval. That connects nicely to our next phrase, actually, to live in the here and now. Because sometimes focusing on the present means letting go of those external pressures. What's the core idea?
Well, simply put, it's about focusing on the present moment, not dwelling on the past, not getting lost in anxieties about the future, just being present.
Being present. But is it different from just being, spontaneous or maybe even a bit irresponsible?
Good question. Yes, definitely different. That's the nuance. It's not about ditching plans or ignoring consequences. It's an intentional focus. It's mindfulness. Right. An active choice to ground yourself in what's happening right now.
Okay, intentional grounding. The example given was mindfulness helps us live in the here and now. That fits perfectly.
Exactly.
So in a practical sense, at work, maybe during a stressful meeting, you could say, I try to live in the here and now during intense discussions to make sure I'm fully engaged and not just thinking about my next deadline.
That's a great application.
Or for IELTS, perhaps. For me, living in the here and now is about appreciating the small things, like really tasting my coffee or truly listening when a friend talks, without my mind wandering off.
Right. And it begs the question, doesn't it? In our super busy, future-focused world, how often are we really present? It's a skill, something to cultivate.
It really is. And that idea of conscious choice links us to the next one. To live according to one's values. This feels fundamental.
It absolutely is. It means acting consistently in a way that aligns with your personal beliefs, your core principles.
Okay, so how is that different from just, say, being moral or following the rules?
Well, the nuance is that it's about personal principles. These might align with societal norms, or they might differ. The emphasis is on the internal compass, the active process of making choices based on your convictions. It's internal, not just external compliance.
Internal conviction. I like that. The example was he tries to live according to his values even when it's hard. That even when it's hard part is key, I think.
It shows the commitment, yes.
In a business context, you might hear, our company talks about transparency and leadership aims to live according to these values in all our dealings.
Hopefully they do.
Indeed. Or for IELTS. For me, living according to my values means prioritizing honesty, even when being honest is difficult or uncomfortable.
Yeah. Looking at the bigger picture, this phrase really helps us talk about that moral compass, that guiding force for individuals and even organizations. Real integrity.
Okay, shifting gears a bit now. Zero-sum game. This one sounds a bit technical, maybe from economics.
It often comes up in economics, yes. Essentially, it describes a situation where, for one person to gain something, another person must lose an equivalent amount. Think of a fixed pie. If I take a bigger slice, Your slice has to be smaller.
Right, a fixed pie. So it's more than just competition, because in competition, sometimes everyone can improve, maybe.
Exactly. That's the crucial nuance. It's not just any win-lose scenario. In a true zero-sum game, the resources are fixed. Any gain is necessarily balanced by someone else's loss. It's not that someone might lose, it's that their loss is a direct, unavoidable result of the other's gain. No new value is created.
Gotcha. And the source material pointed out something important. Many people see success as a zero-sum game, but it doesn't have to be. That challenges the mindset.
It really does. It opens up possibilities.
So in a negotiation, for instance, if you approach this negotiation as a zero-sum game, you'll probably miss chances for a win-win outcome.
Definitely. You close yourself off to creative solutions.
Or talking about economics for IELTS. I disagree that economic growth is always a zero-sum game. Innovation can actually expand the pie, creating new value for everyone.
Precisely. This phrase helps us analyze situations. Is it truly a fixed resource scenario, or is there potential for collaboration and mutual benefit? It's about perspective.
Interesting. Okay, next. External approval. This feels very relatable. That need for validation.
Oh, absolutely. It means getting validation or recognition from other people, seeking that nod from the outside.
But how is it different from just getting feedback or someone praising you?
Good point. The nuance with external approval often implies a sense of dependency. It's not just receiving input. It's when your self-worth or the validity of your choices feels tied to what others think. Your value is determined externally.
Ah, dependency. That makes sense. The example was relying on external approval can make you feel insecure. That hits home.
It really can. Leaves you vulnerable.
In a work context, you might see it in leadership. Some leaders focus too much on seeking external approval, maybe from the media or shareholders, instead of making the tough, right decisions for the long term.
A common trap.
Or for IELTS. While some external approval is nice, motivating, it's vital not to let it dictate your life choices or how you see yourself. Real confidence comes from within.
It's quite fascinating, isn't it? How much we're subtly guided, sometimes unconsciously, by this need for others' recognition.
Definitely food for thought. Okay, next up. To gauge someone's feelings. Sounds like an important social skill.
Extremely important. It means trying to measure or estimate what someone is feeling, often by reading between the lines, looking at nonverbal cues.
So it's more active than just noticing someone seems sad.
Yes, much more active. It's investigative. You're intentionally trying to assess their emotional state, often because you need to decide how to interact with them or what to say next. It's not just passive observation, it's interpretation.
Interpretation, okay. The example was, it's hard to gauge his feelings because he rarely speaks. So you have to rely on other things, like body language.
Exactly. Tone of voice, posture, silences even.
Right. So at work, before breaking the bad news, the manager tried to gauge the team's feelings, looking at their expressions to anticipate how they might react.
A necessary step sometimes.
Or for IELTS, talking about communication. In social settings, I try to gauge people's feelings to respond appropriately. It's key for empathy and building rapport.
And it really speaks to emotional intelligence, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How well can we actually read the room, understand the unspoken currents in a conversation?
Very true. Let's move on to follow through on something. This feels very much about reliability.
Absolutely. It means seeing a commitment or an action through to its completion, finishing what you said you'd do.
Is it just about finishing any task?
Well, the nuance emphasizes fulfilling a promise or a prior commitment. It's not just task completion. It's about integrity, dependability, showing people your word is good. It implies overcoming obstacles if necessary to meet that commitment.
Ah, the promise aspect, that's key. The example was perfect. She promised to volunteer and followed through on her word. Simple, but it builds trust.
Huge trust builder.
In hiring, you might hear, we need people who can follow through on their commitments even when things get tough.
Essential quality.
Or for IELTS, I believe it's important to follow through on promises, big or small. It shows respect for others and builds personal credibility.
Yeah, ultimately, following through is the bedrock of trust in any relationship, personal or professional. It's about dependability.
Okay, another interesting one. To hold on to a belief. This can go either way, right? Good or bad?
It can, yes.
Yeah.
It means maintaining a belief or maybe a habit, but often the phrase implies you're doing so even when it's not helpful anymore, maybe even counterproductive.
So it suggests a certain inflexibility.
Yeah.
Unlike just having strong convictions.
Exactly. That's the nuance. It often implies stubbornness or resistance to change. The belief might be outdated, disproven, or just not serving you well, but you cling to it anyway, maybe out of habit or fear of the unknown.
Right. The example, he held on to the belief that success equals happiness, suggests he might be ignoring evidence to the contrary in his own life.
Precisely, a potentially limiting belief.
In business, some companies hold on to outdated strategies despite clear market shifts, simply because that's how we've always done it.
Classic example of hindering progress.
Or for IELTS. I think it's vital to remain open-minded and not hold on to beliefs too rigidly. We should always be willing to learn and adapt based on new information.
And that raises a really important question for self-reflection. When does strong conviction become a barrier to growth? Where's that line?
A very fine line sometimes. Okay, finally, let's talk about to develop resilience. So crucial these days.
Absolutely essential. It means building up your capacity to recover quickly and effectively from difficulties, from setbacks, from adversity.
So it's more than just being tough or bouncing back once.
Much more. The nuances in the word develop. It emphasizes the process of building this ability. It's not just enduring hardship, it's learning from it, strengthening your coping mechanisms, becoming more adaptable because of the challenges you faced. It implies growth.
Growth through adversity, I like that. The source said facing challenges helps us develop resilience. It's the active engagement with difficulty.
Yes, you build the muscle by using it.
So maybe after a project failure, the team really had to develop resilience, learn from what went wrong, and pivot quickly to the next iteration.
A common scenario where resilience is built.
Or for IELTS. Moving abroad was tough, but it really helped me develop resilience. I had to navigate so many new situations and overcome things I never expected.
And what's great is recognizing that resilience isn't just something you have or don't have. It's a skill. It can be actively cultivated, strengthened over time. It turns obstacles into opportunities.
Fantastic. Okay, I think we've unpacked those quite thoroughly. Now let's see how well you've absorbed them. Time for a quick quiz. Listen carefully to the question and the options. Question 1. What does it mean to have the courage to be disliked? Option A. To be bold enough to follow your beliefs despite criticism. Option B. To enjoy arguing with people for self-expression. Option C. To reject others' opinions because you value logic. Feel free to pause the podcast here if you need to think about the answer. Okay. The correct answer is option A. To be bold enough to follow your beliefs despite criticism. Remember, it's about that principled authenticity, acting on values even if it leads to disapproval, like quitting the unfulfilling job.
Exactly.
Question 2. What does it mean to live in the here and now? Option A. To focus entirely on what's currently happening. Option B. To ignore the past but obsess over the future. Option C. To remember history while imagining possibilities. Take a moment to decide. You can pause if you like. And the answer is option A. To focus entirely on what's currently happening. It's that intentional mindfulness, being present in the moment. Question 3. What does to live according to your values imply? Option A. To change your opinions to suit others. Option B. To follow moral codes defined by society. Option C. To act in ways that match your beliefs. Mull that over for a second. The correct answer here is option C. To act in ways that match your beliefs. It's about that internal compass, aligning your actions with your personal principles.
Or core convictions, yes.
Question 4. What is a zero-sum game in everyday terms? Option A. A case where success is possible for everyone. Option B. A scenario where one person's gain means another's loss. Option C. A situation where rules benefit both sides equally. Have a think. Pause if you need to. Right, the answer is option B. A scenario where one person's gain means another's loss. Remember the fixed pie analogy, one person's gain must come from another's share.
The necessary loss.
Question 5. What does external approval most closely mean? Option A. Being certain about your own internal values. Option B. Permission granted by official authorities. Option C. Recognition from others validating your choices. Okay, what's your pick? The correct choice is option C. Recognition from others validating your choices. It's that seeking validation from the outside, which can sometimes lead to insecurity.
That element of dependency.
Question 6. When you gauge someone's feelings, what are you doing? Option A. You're trying to assess how they're feeling. Option B. You're trying to influence their emotions. Option C. You're explaining your perspective on them. Take a second. Pause if needed. The answer is option A. You're trying to assess how they are feeling. It's that active process of estimating or measuring emotions, reading the cues.
It's trying to figure out the quiet person.
Exactly. Question 7. What does it mean to follow through on something? Option A. To delay action until others approve it. Option B. To complete what you promised to do. Option C. To question a plan before beginning it. last chance to pause and think. Okay, the answer is option B. To complete what you promised to do. It's about fulfilling that commitment, keeping your word, like the volunteering example. Reliability.
Seeing it through.
And finally, question 8. If someone holds on to a belief, what are they doing? Option A. They evaluate a belief through logic. Option B. They borrow a belief to blend in. Option C. They keep a belief even if it's outdated. What do you think? The correct answer is option C. They keep a belief even if it's outdated. Remember, it often implies inflexibility, holding on to something even when it's no longer helpful.
The potential downside of stubbornness.
So wrapping this up, what does mastering these phrases really do for you?
Well, it's not just about having more words. It genuinely deepens your ability to understand and talk about, human behavior, complex situations, the nuances of interaction. It adds precision. It really does. I think this deep dive highlights how language gives us the tools to articulate not just what we're doing, but the why behind it, how we navigate our inner world and our relationships. So maybe the question for you listening is, what beliefs or values will you choose to hold on to, and what will you have the courage to pursue, maybe even risking dislike?
Excellent questions, powerful thoughts to end on. And remember, knowing these is one thing, using them confidently is another. Practice is key. Head over to SpeakDuo.com, meet people, practice speaking, maybe even upgrade to premium for unlimited sessions and that cool AI feedback.
Practice makes perfect, or at least better.
Definitely. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, if you found it helpful, we'd really appreciate a 5-star review. It helps other learners find the show. Thanks so much for tuning in and joining us today.
Yes, thank you. Keep learning, keep speaking.